Okay, I am going to do another example problem for you. And in this one, we're looking at lexicographic order, what we call lex order usually. And we've got two sets, A and B. A has 4 elements in it. B has 2 elements in it. Let's see, I'm going to start this over. We have two sets. A has 4 elements in it, and B has 2 elements in it. And we're looking at 4 different cross products here. We're actually looking at all different possibilities of the cross products of these two sets. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what I think the sizes of these cross products are going to be. So the size of A cross B is going to be the size of A times the size of B, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. The big one is going to be A cross A because that's going to have 16 elements. B cross A is the same size. A cross A, as I say, this is going to be the big one. A squared, which is 4 squared, which is 16. I don't know if I can even fit it on this page here. And B cross B is real easy. It's small, which is 2 squared, which is 4 elements. Okay? So I've sort of sketched out, I've sort of figured out that the first two both have size 8. Then I have the big one, which is part C, and then a small one, part D. So that's the first thing I do when I think about making a cross product. And so I'm going to start with part A here, and I'm going to do A cross B. And I'm going to use shorthand notation where instead of making an ordered pair, for example, from the set A cross B, WA would be one of the elements of the cross product. It's really an ordered pair or a list. I'm going to instead write WA. Okay? And that's a shorthand notation. And I like shorthand notation because it greatly simplifies writing all this stuff down. A cross B. So I'm going to start and I'm going to use lexicographic order, which means that I'm going to start. First of all, in order to make lexicographic order, I have to have an order on the sets A and B themselves. And in the first sentence here, it tells us what A and B are, but it doesn't say anything about an order because sets don't have order. However, we know we can impose an order on a set, and sentence number 2 here says take the linear orders on A and B to be alphabetical order. In other words, we've just imposed an order on the sets, and they are written, in fact, in their order, which is alphabetical. Okay, so lexicographic order starts with the WA, WB. So first, basically, we go from the left to the right. Okay, and on the left we have elements from A, and we make sure that we use up all of the elements that start with a W. And then we use A and B. And then we're going to go to X, A, and XB, then YA, and YB, and finally ZA and ZB. So that's lex order on A cross B. Part B is B cross A. And this is a good problem because it gives you, I'm not supposed to be making this a set. Sorry. Well, that is the set. That is the set. List the elements in the order, in lexicographic order. So technically, what I should do is say that I'm going to list them in order as WA, WB, XA, XB, YA, YB, ZA, ZB. Okay? So I've listed them in order. Okay? For the rest of the problems, I'm just going to write the elements of the set, and I'm going to write them out in lex order. for part B, B cross A, I'm going to write it as a set, and then I'm going to draw an arrow to that set and say ordered as shown. Here I'm going to start with the first element of B, and I'm going to do AW, AX, AY, and AZ. Then I'm going to move on to element B from set B, BW, BX, BY, and BZ. So I'm going to write out the set, which is the cross product, but I'm going to say that the Lex ordered as shown. So I have listed the elements in Lex order. At the same time, I've listed the elements in the set. Okay, part C, this is the one that's going to have a lot of elements in it. It's going to have 16 elements. A cross A is going to be W, WW, so I'm going to start with the W at the beginning, WX, WY, WZ, then I move on to X, XW, XX, XY, XZ, so this is pretty straightforward, I hope you see. Now I move on to Y, and I take the 4 elements in order after the Y. YW, YX, YY, and YZ. Finally, Z. There's 4 of them. ZW, ZX, ZY, and ZZ. Just enough room here. And I'll say Lex ordered as shown. And it looks like I might have just enough room for part D here. Good thing part D is the short one. I'll put part D here. B cross B is equal to, and I'll make the set. And I hope you don't mind me breaking the line over like that. And this has A and B in it. So AA, AB, BA, and BB. Okay, so Lex ordered. Okay, so I'll just label that as being Lex ordered. Okay, so this is it. I hope you see that lexicographic ordering, when you have a cross product, is pretty straightforward. You go and make sure that you go from left to right in the order, basically. Hope that helps.